Hey YouTube, I'm about to start my very first video review of Love After Lockup. I'm not new to this. I've been watching it since season one. So we're just gonna jump right into this season because I can tell this season is gonna be good. They got some good couples up here. So let's just get into it. So the first couple that they show up there is Deontay and Nikki. And he starts off at this wine store that I ain't never heard of in my life. And he's looking for her some white, red, and pink wine. Mind you, she ain't say rosé, because rosé the only other wine I know that's pink beside Moscato. So honestly, he could have went to Food Lion, 7-Eleven, or anything. I don't think she would have cared either way. But he starts off at this wine store and he's getting her some wine. He asking the man for some help, and then she called him and asked him where's her money and stuff like that. And he like, oh, I got your money. I'm happy that you about to come home and all this other stuff. But honestly, I don't think she cared about none of that. She was calling to ask about that money, and as long as he answered that question, I think she was all right. Now, just looking at Deontay, he strike me as being the type of guy that feel like, as long as he do everything right, graduate, go into the military, got his own house, got his own car and stuff like that, might be a nice guy, whatever, that he'll get what he want. But he also seemed like he got a real messed up type, and he's attracted to maybe like trifling females. And he's saying he wonder why he still ain't married, but that might be the reason why, because the women that he might be attracted to might just be, a little on the trifling side. So that might be working against him a little bit, but we about to see. So he lets us know that Nicole has been locked up for 4 years. She's 23. So, shoot, what's that? 19? So that means she's been locked up since she was 19. And he asked her to marry him. And I really don't think that's going to go too well because I ain't really a big fan of people getting married like real young when they have not had a chance to experience life and, kind of figure out who they are. But to each his own. Some people do get married young and it works out, or they work through their problems or whatever. But he's so excited she about to come home, and it leads us into the next scene where he get to this house and pulls out this daggone sex toy that he got that he bought so that he won't cheat on her. So, that's all right. Some people do stuff like that, so I don't think that's out the ordinary. However, um, you put it in a dishwasher, and I feel like I've heard about people putting their sex toys in the dishwasher, but is it normal to put them in there while your dish is still in there? Because he just threw it in there. He just threw it in there, and he threw it right in the front where the silverware go right before his friend got there. Now his friend got there. His friend said that they've been friends for 27 years. He see all this stuff he got laid out on the bed for her. He done bought all this stuff, iPhone and watches and clothes and sex toys and all this other stuff. So we'll see how that's gonna go. But 9 times out of 10, she ain't gonna appreciate it because he just giving everything to her. He's not getting to know her. I mean, he's getting to know her through the phone, but actually being face to face in person with her is gonna be a completely different story. So I'm sure he gonna regret half that stuff that he done bought for her, and his friend already know because his friend already telling him that he's stupid for doing all that, and that $1,000 it's gonna look like a lot to her because it's in all 20s. For real, she probably would be fine if it was in tens and or ones because it'll make the stack look bigger. But at the end of the day, it's still $1,000, and $1,000. Anybody that work or have dealt with a large sum of money or that actually have bills know that $1,000 really ain't that much. But she's 23. She gonna get excited over it just seeing that little money when he give it to her. So we'll see about that too. So we're gonna move on to the next couple, which is Brittany and Ray. Brittany is in Texas, and she is waiting for Ray to get released from prison, and she's going into this boutique or whatever. I tell you what, the salespeople on this show, they making sure their customer service is tip top while they are on camera. Because as soon as she walked in the store, that lady was like, "Ooh, that's a cute bag." Like even if the bag won't cute, still like she making sure that customer service is on point because she know that this is publicity for her job. And they probably had to get the store permission before they went in there. So that store manager was probably like, "Look, you better make us look good. You better make people want to come in here." So that lady, she was on it. But she going to the store, meet with her friends, tell them that she dating, that she about to drop the mom on her parents, that she dating somebody from prison, and she just describing the lifestyle she used to. Bougie. She got her life together. She like nice cars, nice bags, nice everything. Just her taste in men is just a little, on the other side. I say it like that because everybody that's locked up ain't, don't get out of jail and lead a crazy life. So we don't know. We ain't met him yet. So I don't know. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Her taste is just a little questionable to her family. So I say it like that. Okay, so the next couple we're gonna go to is Rachel and Doug. Rachel is a real short lady, 4'11". She follows the rules, joined the military, real structured, and she is married to Doug. They have already been married. They got married while he was still in jail. So, it starts off there. Now, his son was coming to visit her every other weekend. I don't know how she arranged that, but okay. And now he is actually living with her. So, for the fact that he's not living with his grandparents or anything like that kind of already makes me question Doug's family's what's the word I'm looking for? It's already kind of making me question how reliable his family is, and kind of putting out there a little bit what she has forward, what she's gonna look forward to dealing with when it comes to dealing with his family. Because usually if the mom and the dad are in a messed up position, at least the grandparents have them, but in their position, she has him. And if she only known his dad for 10 months. So how he living with her, I don't know. So obviously it's something right on that side of the family. But she ain't picking up on that. So she lives her life structured on a straight and narrow, follow all the rules. So, she has this fascination with dating these bad boys. She done already been in a relationship with somebody else that's in prison. He ended up being on drugs, so that didn't work out. So now she's with Doug, and she has his son there, and her friends come over, and she's telling them everything that he's looking forward to when he gets out of jail. And while she's talking to them, he calls her on the phone, and he's telling her like, "Oh well, do you need me to start barking orders at you because you ain't got my stuff together?" And kind of just, I feel like, setting a tone with her and letting her know like, "Look, I'm the boss. When I get there, ain't gonna be no baby and my son and all this other stuff." Even though in my mind I'm like, how you gonna dictate to her how she need to be treating your son? Especially if she's not mistreating him. How you gonna dictate to her how you feel like she needs to be raising him? Because honestly, that's what she's doing. He's living with her, and how he gonna dictate that to her? And he locked up, and he not doing nothing to help besides give his opinion. Like, the little boy know that's his dad. Of course, from her conversation with the little boy, you can tell that he wants a relationship with his dad. He At this point, he's 12 years old, so the little boy looking for any type of relationship that he can get, because he ain't no telling what he done went through dealing with his mom, and his mom is like somewhere on drugs. So he's trying to have something that's solid and consistent with at least one of his parents, and probably just the only person in his family that he probably still has to build a bond with, because like I said, he's not living in his grandparents' house. So, she seems like she's has pretty much created like a stable environment for the little boy, which is real good. And, that's really what kids need, whether they know they need it or not, but still. He seems like he's okay over there. She don't like he missing no meals, and she don't look like she missing no meals either. So, the little boy seemed like he's all right with her, and he seemed like he's fine staying there with her until his dad gets out of jail. So let's just hope when his dad gets released that he don't get out of jail acting a fool. And like they showed on the previews, like I already know they gonna show the little highlights of the little bad parts of what they think is gonna get people to come back and watch. But I'm gonna watch regardless. I've been watching since season 1, so that ain't no question. Now we're gonna move on to Courtney and Josh. Oh my gosh. So whoever watched this show in season 1, remember Garrett and Joanna, and I feel like this is going to be similar to their relationship because Josh is 29 years old. He's been locked up for 11 years, which means that he's been in jail since he was 18 years old. He has not had a chance to like enjoy his adult life at all, like at all. And she's expecting him to get out, be with her, be in a relationship with her, kind of step up, do what he needs to do. And she's expecting him to get out of jail and be the 30-year-old, because he's 29, he about to be, so he'll probably be 30 by the time he gets out, even though it's within, a short time frame on the show. She's expecting him to be at this level of 30-year-old maturity that any man that's not in jail would be. And I just feel like that's so unrealistic. Like, with their story, she was a correctional supervisor or some sort of correctional officer, and she started messing with him while she was still working in the prison. And to let her explain it, she was going to visit him, changing, putting on different wigs and stuff like that. Like, that makes a difference because you work with somebody every day, if it's the same person, they just got on a different color hair. I mean, her name's still the same. She still looked the same and everything. So I don't know how that even got past her job for 8 weeks. They probably was looking at her like, is she serious? And how long is she gonna try to, be carrying this on before we have to say something? Because she should know better. And obviously she did, but she tried to make it seem like she didn't know the full extent of what she was doing. Like, oh, I didn't know it was illegal. Like, girl, you are a correctional officer. You know daggone well that you cannot be in there messing with the prisoners, because you putting the other correctional officers' life in danger, because you already, like, your mind is already somewhere else when it comes to your job duty. You gonna be trying to sneak in with, you get. I ain't even gonna say she would be trying to. She has the ability to sneak him in weapons. She got the ability to sneak in drugs and all this other stuff, and that's not gonna do nothing but make her coworkers' jobs harder than it already is. So I don't know what she thought was gonna happen. So now she done got locked up. She done, she did her little 60 days, and she is on 2 years probation. And so since she's on probation and he'll be on parole, I believe, then they won't be able to live together. They'll be able to quarantine together, which is still crazy. Um, but hey, they rules, whatever. I guess they like, shit, y'all make each other sick. What we gonna do about it? But so they gonna quarantine together. So she is preparing for him to get out of jail, and her friend or cousin or whoever is going to drive to pick him up and then bring him to meet her, because she's not allowed on prison grounds because she was messing with a prisoner. So they was like, look, you fired, you going to jail, you on probation, and we don't want you to come back. As a matter of fact, you can't come back. You can't step foot on these. You can't step foot on prison grounds because of what you did. Like, so they won't playing with her. So she's not even gonna be able to ride to go and pick him up. But she is real excited that he's coming out. But I tell you what, that man been locked up since he was 18 years old. He is not about to get out of jail and settle down and just only be with her. He might. He might, because you don't never know if he was, he could have been a virgin when he went in and really has never really had no real experience with being with a woman. So that might change it up a little bit, but then at the same time it might not, because if that even is the case and he sleep with her, like, he's still gonna want to experience life. He done missed out on 11 years of his life while he was in jail. So anybody that does that and then you out in the world, like, the world is huge. Like, even if you just in a little small town, small city, like, it's still huge compared to being locked up in a jail cell, as far as like you being able to move around, communicate with who you want, go where you want. Like, you still have restrictions, but it's just not the same. Like, he's gonna have so much more freedom from when he was in jail. Like, she's no longer going to be the only option, and he's been locked up for 11 years. So once, I mean, he's still young. So once he catch up on society, not catch up on society, but catch up on technology, and um, once he catches up on technology and starts getting out there, he's already getting out of jail on a TV show. So it's gonna be somebody out there that's gonna try to hit him up, DM him, or whatever. Like, his friends, wherever he about to go stay at, that transitional housing, they gonna let him know it's a such thing called Instagram. Like, this is how you meet people. Like, even though she not gonna want that for him, it's gonna be men that have experience or that's been in and out of jail that's gonna be in that transitional housing with him. That's gonna let him know, like, look, if you want to meet somebody, this is what you do. It's an app up here called Tinder. You got Instagram, you got Snapchat, you got Facebook. I mean, pick one. This is the phone. This how you FaceTime. This Google Duo, whatever. It's gonna be somebody out there, whether it's his brother, his cousin, anybody. They're gonna be letting him know, like, look, she not your only option. You out here, you can do what you want. You free. You need to get it in. You need to live your life. So please believe it's gonna be somebody in his ear that's gonna be advocating for him to experience life, live his life or whatever. And we'll see, because that's probably gonna be why she was in that daggone preview. She was in that daggone house crying, because she realized that she ain't his only option no more. But we'll see about that. So then I don't know if it's the last couple in this episode, but I'll make sure. But Stan and Lisa. Stan is the older guy. Stan is like 60 something, and Lisa is like 38 or 39 or something. I don't know. So he met her, I believe, at a restaurant or a bar. I'm really trying to go off my memory, so so excuse me, but they met, they linked up, they kissed. In his words, they had sex. He gave her a hug, and then they parted ways. And the next time he heard from her, she was in jail, and he been hanging on because he want to recreate that experience with her again. He thinks she beautiful. Got all these pictures of her and stuff like that. He's showing off to his little old friends that's with him at the little fake baseball thing, little indoor baseball place or whatever that you can go to. I don't know what it's called. So he's telling his story. He's a widow. His wife passed away. They were married for a long, long, long time. I don't know if this is the right amount of years, but I think it was like 37 or 47 years or something like that. A long time. Longer than I've been alive, okay? So they've been married for a long time. And they have two grown daughters together that is close to Lisa's age. And he's telling his friends about Lisa. He's telling them that she's about to get out of jail. And His friends is just looking at him like, honestly, I don't even think they looking at him like I envy you that you messing with a younger woman because he's messing with somebody from prison. And if he is worth $2.3 million for real, then he's not. You know, they if they're his childhood friends, then maybe they may not be in the same economic um, circle, but 9 times out of 10 they are. So you know, they might be like, I mean, I'm happy for you. You getting them young girls. You've been kind of doing what you want to do ever since your wife died. But, in the back of their mind, they could be thinking, like, that's cool and everything, but don't have her around us. They telling her, oh, we can't wait to meet you and stuff like that. But their wife probably would be like, look, we not going to dinner with them. We not doing nothing because especially if they've been friends for a long time, then that means that those other men's wives knew his wife, know his daughters, they kids all know each other. Like they probably got their own little family, friends, circle thing type thing going on. So I don't really think they're gonna be like rocking with her like that. But I mean, just to be cordial in the beginning, he's talking to her on the phone, and of course they ain't trying to throw no salt in his little game or whatever. So they gonna tell her like, "Oh, I'm Bill. I'm whoever. I can't wait to meet you." So he bragging, he's showing pictures and stuff like that. But the lady was like, "Look, I don't look the same." I don't look the same no more. I look like a boy. She probably done put on a little. She probably done put on a little weight. She probably done did something crazy with her hair, and she may not look the same. And he's telling her right now, like, you know what? That's fine. Looks don't matter, but he worth $2.3 million. Looks do matter. Even though he old, he can still get somebody else. So you don't know why people be doing this show, but at the same time, like if she come out of jail and she big and all this other stuff, because his friends already said, oh, she healthy, like she not slim like we thought, like them little 20, 22, 23 year old models that's running around here, like I mean, he old, but he rich, so he got the potential to pretty much attract a lot of young girls that's in it for the money, and that he knows in it for the money, and he don't care. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with them. We'll see. Now, one thing that I feel like they always ask them is how much money have you spent on this person? Now, all these people that have regular jobs talking about they done spent $20,000, $30,000 and yada yada. But Stan said I only spent about $5,000. And he seemed like he has the most amount of money out of anybody on this show. So that should let y'all know right there. Stan ain't stupid. He old, but he got some sense. You have to have a lot of sense to accumulate that kind of wealth over your lifetime. He said he made his first million by the time he was 40, and that's you got to be smart to do that. And he's talking about he fascinated with the stock market. That has a lot to do with numbers and stuff like that. So Stan is not stupid. Whatever whatever y'all think is going on with Stan, she gonna play him, she gonna get in his pockets. I tell you what, but he ain't gonna let her run him dry. Because he ain't out here saying that he done spent $20,000, $30,000 on her. He's saying $5,000, which is still, kind of in the thousands or whatever. But he ain't spent nowhere near Beyonce or what nobody else done spent on them other people that's in jail. So Stan got some sense. So don't put it past him. So now we about to move back to Deontay, and he is going to his mama house. Okay, so Deontay going to his mama house to let her know that Nikki about to get out of jail. And his brother, it seems so calm to be 16. Maybe he just doing his little trying to be cool because he know he about to be on TV. I don't know, but he just seemed real calm to be 16. Or maybe, that's his I'm in the house mode when he around his mama because she's older. He got a brother that's in his 30s and he's 16. So, maybe his mama still don't play that, just like Deontay said. And you know what? I identify with her because when he said my mama did not play and my dad was the nice one, I felt that because my mama ain't play either, and I'm the same way. And I could tell, like, I can tell that over time, like his mom really put raised him right, put whatever she needed to put into him, like as far as like morals and having a decent head on his shoulders and stuff like that. Because even when she, was asking him what are you spending $20,000-$30,000 on for somebody that's in jail, like what could she possibly need? Like even the way that she was like, on what? Because I would have been the same way. Like, what are you spending that much money for? On what? I want to know what you spending that on. What does she need that for? Like, and I know his brother was sitting there like, bruh, $20,000-$30,000. Hopefully, with him sitting up there listening to his brother talk that nonsense, he learning from his brother mistakes to not be doing that same kind of dumb mess when he get older. I mean, like I don't, everybody life hit everybody different when they adults, so we'll see. But I like his mama because that's one thing about these girls that be in prison that be trying to take advantage of these guys. And I just feel like, she talking to Deontay on the phone and she like, oh, he nice, he a sucker, I can get him for his money and stuff like that. But I think they build up this confidence about them when it comes to taking advantage of these guys. And I feel like sometimes they forget these guys got sisters that is not with that. These sisters got family members, they mama, they grandma, they dad. They got other people in their ear that's letting them know exactly who you are, even if you think they stupid as I don't know what. Because that's not gonna always work on everybody. Like for a certain amount of time, yes. But at the same time, like you might just be dealing with Deontay, but over time, you're gonna have to deal with his mama. You're gonna be dealing with his sister. You're gonna be dealing with other people in his family, and that scam ain't gonna be able to keep going on, keep going on, keep going on. Now he said he was dealing with this other girl that was in jail, different situation, but same turnout. She ended up using him. He ended up losing everything he had, trying to provide her with stuff and buy her things with money that he did not have. He won't paying his rent. He probably won't even paying his car note because she said he ended up at her house and telling if he lost his car or not. But he was just in too deep. Like he wasn't thinking right. He was just trying to buy her love, and you can't buy nobody love. I don't care who it is, and if people know when you're trying to buy their love too, and that's why a lot of people get played because they be trying to be this nice person and try to do everything for somebody, thinking that that's what's gonna make that person stay. Because they deep down inside, I feel like they know that the person is losing interest or they're not interested, but they still go out their way to try to buy them and make them stay because they're trying to fix them or give them a better life. When really that's not what that person is ready for. That's not what that person can handle, or they just don't appreciate it or whatever. But for some reason, he ain't got the sense to just walk away when he need to walk away. Which I can say a lot of people do stay in mess up situations because they be hoping that things change. And he could have been much younger in that situation. But at the same time, like after a while, you see somebody ain't gonna change. It's just time to go. End it. Cut your losses. So we gonna end this episode with oh Lord, I can't remember the girl name. Hold on. It take me a while to remember people names. I had to look, but we end this episode with Courtney sitting in an empty, look like a little empty skate park parking lot, crying, talking to the camera crew about how she's so happy Josh about to be out. Just living in her mind about whatever she think their relationship is gonna be like. Like, oh, I'm so ready for him to get out. I've been waiting for him for so long. We're gonna have this happily ever after, and do this and do that, and she's sitting there waiting to put on that stupid behind pickle costume that don't nobody understand why she putting it on. She explained it. I still don't understand, but her friend or cousin or whoever is about to drop him off to her since once again she cannot go to the prison. So that's how they end this first episode, and I will see y'all again for the second episode. Thank y'all for watching. I review. Please like this video, Subscribe if you want to. And I'll see y'all next time for the second episode review. And I know my little first review was a little sloppy, but this a lot. I'm in my 30s and it is not that easy to learn how to do all this video and lighting and camera angles and all this other stuff, on the first try. So just bear with me. I'm going to get it right.